I feel like I've been working in like a perpetual state of burnout in the last few months. Where do I even start with this? I'm a software engineer. I'm a coder. I had a part of my career where I worked as an engineering manager. It's not for me. I want to be an individual contributor. I want to be close to the code. I want to be close to the technology. That's just what I like to do. And normally, I don't care how people write their code. I don't care if they copy it from Stack Overflow. I don't care if they generate it with an LLM. I don't care if they've got monkeys tapping on their keyboard until they hit like the correct syntax. In the last 6 months, I can immediately tell when someone wrote their code with an LLM. I have to say that there's nothing wrong with this. Like, I use LLMs on a daily basis. I write big parts of the code that I write with an LLM. But when I'm reviewing like a code base or a pull request or something, I can immediately tell when someone used such a tool because they're doing things that they wouldn't have done a year or two ago. Like, the way that they write code is not the same way that they would have written the same implementation before ChatGPT or Cursor existed. What do I mean by this? I recently noticed someone implementing a full-fledged data fetching implementation equivalent to a React query in a React codebase. Normally, you would just use the library that's already in the codebase for this. But I saw that they had added like a whole bunch of logic to handle all the edge cases about the HTTP requests and error states and loading states, and they had committed that. You would never actually do this because this is complexity that's already solved. We already have a library that's doing this. So when I see this code, I know that this was generated with an LLM, and someone just said to the LLM, make a network request to this, and it outputted this code. And again, the LLMs are great, and what they have done is correct. They have outputted a result of the prompt. Problem is that the engineer had not reviewed this code after, because this is code that you wouldn't normally commit. If someone showed you this code, you would say, why don't you just use a library here? But this engineer had decided that I'm not gonna check it, it works. They had maybe glossed over the pull request and they had said this is good enough. And this highlights like one of the sources of my frustration. We are in short supply of care. I've been an engineer for 11 years now, but even before I started working, people have been focusing on code quality for a long time. There have been certain principles that have been established about how you write code so it's maintainable, extensible, and we have largely built on top of this. Like, everywhere you go, every time you start a new job, you join a new team, everybody can drill down the importance of code quality. Right now, it seems that we are suddenly throwing these principles out of the window for the sake of speed. Like, every engineer knows that speed comes with smoothness. Like, the smoother the development process is, the faster you can iterate and the faster you can build things. But it seems that we're just so obsessed with speed as an industry that given any chance, we would just take it in exchange for anything else. And again, this just shows that people don't care enough about the craft, and they don't care enough about the long-term effects of their work. They don't care enough about like the second and third order effects of what they do. Like the example that I gave about the HTTP implementation, this is just one example. Like, I've seen multiple other cases just like this. Like, the root of the problem is that when Silicon Valley coughs, you get fever. There's an incredible amount of great tools and technologies that have come out of there, and good practices as well. But what people don't understand is that like the Valley and the practices there are mostly focused on startups. And startups and established companies have two very different approaches to how software is built. Like, let me give you an example. I saw this Paul Graham tweet like a couple of weeks ago, I think, about an engineer, a startup engineer who was committing like 10,000 lines of code or something per day. After that, I saw multiple startups reiterate that same claim. They say, oh, we're doing like 100,000 lines of code releases like every week or something. And first, I want to say that lines of code is a poor metric about anything, like, because this doesn't tell you anything. Like you can be outputting like hundreds of lines of markup or schemas or I don't know, like whatever. Like the most important thing for a startup is speed and iteration. Like the faster that they can get features to their customers, the faster they can see if there's like truly a need for this, and they can iterate and build like a product. They're looking for a product market fit. Established companies, they already have product market fit. They know their customers, they know their needs, they know what kind of things they need to build for them. So the speed of iteration and just throwing things out there is first not that important, and second, not that easy. Like once you have a code base that people are actually using and you have like a software that people's business depends on and people's livelihood depends on, then it's not that easy to rewrite things. Like if you're a startup, you can just be like you can use a cursor, rewrite your code base 3 times this week, doesn't matter. But when you're a big company, this comes with a great financial risk, and that's why we developed all those principles about building extensible software, like modularity, extensibility, abstractions, just because it's not like getting something out the door. Anybody can do that. You're gonna scratch and you're gonna claw and you will build like a working product in the end that can solve the problem. But running software in production at scale is not as simple as getting just like the initial prototype out. So what many of these startups are doing is that they are essentially shipping prototypes, and that's what they do. That's like the nature of their business. Like for them, extensibility, maintainability is not that important because they don't know if they're going to be still on the market in 6 months. They need to have something today. And these practices about using like LLMs to quickly iterate and build things faster, these are good for them because they help them like achieve their goals. But if you are an engineer in a company and you're working on software that's going to run in production for like 5 years, maybe you should care a little bit more about what you're building. Like startups have shit code bases. They always have. That's not news to anyone. Like one of the questions that I had is how do like you can generate 10,000 lines of code today, but how do you actually review it? Like if this is repetitive code, like something like markup or like schemas, as I said, you can you can gloss over that. But if you're generating thousands upon thousands of lines of code of actual business logic and actual like data transformations and uh, like actual code that is doing something, how do you review this whole thing? Because reviewing code is not as simple as just going through the diff in GitHub. Like you have to actually look at this thing. You have to run it. You have to see how it fits into the existing application. Like just scrolling through the diff on GitHub, that's not a review. In order for me to be able to make changes to a code base, I need to like keep a mental model of all the logic that goes there, like of the different modules, of how the logic is structured, the patterns that are used. Like I need to keep track of this in my head. And if I'm generating so much code, then it's impossible for me like to really keep track of everything that's going on. Like how do these companies generate so much code so fast and they manage to keep track of it? Well, the short answer is they don't. Like I do a little bit of consulting every now and then, and I had a couple of startups reach out to me asking for help to like help them productionize their prototypes. Basically, they had basically prompted themselves to 90% of completion of an application that they wanted to release. But then they got into a whack-a-mole bug situation where every time they fixed one bug with cursor, two more would pop up. So I debugged one of their problems to a function, and I asked the engineer that had written that function why he was doing a certain data operation in a specific way, because I thought that this could be causing it. And they just told me, I don't know. It was generated by the LLM. It looked okay, and yeah, that's about it. And this was code that was actually tested, by the way. Before you say that tests are gonna catch these problems. No, it was an obscure problem that someone would have caught if they had spent some time on review. But what they had done is just gloss over it, check it, see if it works correctly, seems fine, ship it. And again, this is good enough for startups. Startups can do this because the risk of their software not working is acceptable when your whole business is on the line. But the problem is that the industry adopts these practices in established companies, and that's when things start getting problematic. Because when you start doing these things with software that is supposed to be running for a long time, then you're gonna have like a ticking bomb on your hands. It has just been a little bit frustrating to see this. But yeah, I think we're on the fast track to find out if all those like clean code and extensible code and maintainable code principles actually matter at all. Because go into a, if we get to a future where where the code is really an abstraction and the prompt is everything that matters, then yes, I guess all that work didn't really matter. Uh, my money is that it's gonna matter for at least a little while still. And your sense of software design and system design, this is going to be really important in the future. Yeah, so what I would urge you to do is just to assess the environment that you're working in and assess the goal of the software that you're building. If your goal is just to iterate, to get something in the hands of customers, then vibe coding it is more than fine. I use LLMs every day in my work. I think that they're engineering marvels. I think that they're incredible, and they have been so helpful to me. They have helped me, like they have unlocked my capabilities in many ways. At the same time, I don't think that you should put like a company's future to the weight of a model. Like the way that you organize the software and the way that you organize an application, the way that you like design it and structure it, this should be up to you. So yeah, I do believe that craftsmanship is important. I do believe that your sense of design is important. And I do not believe that speed is the only thing that we should be optimizing for. So yeah, I'm back. I'm going to be publishing videos more often, but I just wanted to get this off my chest. And